to speak about your experience at ISB, and
Yeah.
this would be an interesting chat, I believe. So, because
So
I
ISB,
informed you of this,
the
you've
interview
already
experience
been
still
through.
gives me goosebumps.
Correct. So I'm doing these sessions with a lot of people who have interviewed with ISB, and I kind of hear
Yeah.
very varied responses. So it would be
Yeah.
fantastic to get your viewpoint. So let's start with speaking about the overall impressions you had about ISB and whether it was a stress interview and what, in your opinion, they were trying to do in the interview.
Overall impressions, it turned out to be a stress interview, unfortunately for me. And the very first impression I got from them was that they were both of them were trying to provoke me and maybe trying to see that how I perform under pressure. And the weird part was that they kept on telling me that we are trying to provoke you, we are trying to grill you. They kept on telling me that during that 20-minute interview. So that was the overall impression, and I think they were very judgmental to my responses, very judgmental about my both my short and long term goals. And the feeling I got was that they were trying to tell me that an MBA will not give you the kind of ROI which you are expecting. Since we had gone again with an entrepreneurial story for ISB, where I had told that I would like to expand my business in the digital learning space in short term, and in the long term, maybe explore the Southeast Asian as well as the Chinese market for ETL resources. And I think their main point was that instead of going for an MBA, if you continue working in your own business and get that requisite knowledge from your father, that will give you a better ROI. And I think that was their central theme, and they wanted me to prove them wrong. Yeah. Um, I mean, frankly speaking, the way so first of all, it was not a typical question answer kind of interview. It was more of a discussion. I felt like that I have gone with a business proposal to them, and they are these two grumpy investors who are trying to nitpick every detail which I have put in my investment proposal and just trying to trash that. So they started off by telling me to convince them, the professor told me that, for me, digital learning does not have any scope in India. So, explain, how can digital learning help? And I kind of managed to do that somehow, I believe. And, then they asked me, then that professor told that, for publishers, if you are trying to get into the digital learning space, I feel that there is no scope. It will be detrimental to the publishers, and it will cannibalize your existing business. I don't know how this thing came, but I gave them the example of Times of India. I told her, see, Times of India is also a publisher. The only difference is Times of India publishes news and I publish educational content. Okay. Time the professor told me that you guys don't own any content, you guys don't have the requisite technology infrastructure, you are just kind of the main coordinator, so that's why you don't add any value to the whole process. Wherein I explained him that Times of India does the same thing. They get news sources from other news agencies around the world. They have outsourced their technology infrastructure. It's not an IT company, so definitely there is some third party firm which is taking care of that. But they have managed to build a platform using which a majority of people in India are able to consume news online. And if they are able to profit from this, I think I can do the same. So that is something which came on my mind, and then they switch tracks. That what will I gain from an MBA or specifically at ISB, or how ISB can help me. So I had done my research before, and I had noted down couple of courses specifically in the digital transformation or the digital strategy space which can help me. And I listed down those courses, and they told me that you need to understand that these courses you can get. online as well, then why MBA? So wherein I told them that you don't get that classroom experience, and then they told me exactly that is why we told you that digital learning does not have any scope. So you have ended up contradicting your own answer. So then, after they had blubbered, I kind of smiled and very calmly told them that I am not of this opinion that if I diversify, if I continue the current diversification into digital learning, that I will stop publishing my print resources. Even in the future, 70 to 80% of my business will continue to drive from my print offerings, but I cannot wish away digital disruption. Tomorrow, and this is happening, if schools which are transitioning towards smart classrooms, if they tell me that, where is your digital offerings, your competitors in the publishing industry have those digital offerings, I will not have any answer, and that is why I have to keep on diversifying.
But yet
So
still,
that is
that
something
was a
which I have
very
to do. Yeah.
in-depth, industry-specific interview in your case, and they were
Yeah.
primarily
Yeah.
focused on critiquing what choices you have made up until this
Right.
point and what
Right.
career
Right.
choices you're going to make going ahead in the future. So
Right.
that's what they were critiquing you on. And then they just wanted you to sort of explain your rationale and convince them on why
Correct.
you were right. So that's essentially
Correct.
what the core of the interview was. So I'm just
Correct. That is
curious.
exactly right.
So I'm
Yeah.
just curious that did they ask you any standard kind of questions in terms of like
Not
what
at
an
all.
MBA?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. As I said, right, it was more of a stress interview. It was more of a discussion that was happening.
Got
And they kept on telling me that I have to, I think they were trying to get an answer from me. Or maybe, they were trying to punch holes in my story.
it. Okay.
And somehow, I understood that and I kept on going.
Okay.
Maybe I gave them some wrong answers as well, but at least I was not blank. And for me, that was important, that I don't have to sit there blank, sit there nervous. Even if it's a stress interview, I have to keep on coming at them. That was the whole thought process which was going in my mind.
About
So
things that are
I
beyond
think
your
the
control.
the last question. So one more thing which I could manage to ascertain was that there were two guys, one alim and one professor. So both of them were playing the good cop bad cop routine on me. So the alim was sometimes supportive, and the professor was trying to slap me on the back. And the last question which the professor asked me was that I personally feel that you should continue working with your father. That is how you will build step by step and expand your business. So again, very calmly, I tried to refute that with 2 points. The first point I gave them was that first of all, it's not that only now I have started working in my business. Yes, I have started working in my business full time for the past 7, 8 months. But considering that my family is in publishing business for the past 25 years, I have grown up in this industry. Even when I was working in Cognizant and Infosys, I was pretty much involved in my business, though it was from a technology side itself. But yes, I knew what kind of books are we going to publish, what is going to be our strategy, and how are we trying to expand our business. Number two, let's say I get into ISB and let's say there's a publishing company coming in and they offer me a job, right? I can work with them for 2 to 3 years. I can understand or experience the best practices which bigger publishing companies are implementing, get that experience, and then maybe, after I work there for 2 to 3 years, I can leverage that experience and implement those best practices in my own publishing business and help it grow. So I think from my perspective, if I do get into ISB, I think I'll be able to get that requisite ROI, and that's how I kind of ended the interview.
Okay. So I will not ask the question that what could you have done better, because it looks to me that there were like several points that you could have done better on. At least that's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
feeling that I'm getting after this
yeah,
interview. And this is quite
yeah,
normal because it was a stress
yeah.
interview, and
It was a stress interview.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, it's okay to sort of mess up a few questions,
Right,
and given the fact that you were being interviewed by a panel, not just one person,
right,
you were.
right.
I'm assuming that they would be throwing questions left, right, and center. So
Correct,
I think
correct.
the pace of the interview would have been slightly faster compared to other interviews.
It was very fast. It was they were doing a lot of cross questioning, and they were kind of trying to trap me or maybe provoke me to maybe hear something which they wanted to hear. That's the feeling I got.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did they ask you any questions about your work experience, etc.?
Not at all.
About
Unfortunately,
professional
not at all.
experience, work
No,
experience?
they did not even touch upon my Infosys or Cognizant experience. In the start, just to break the ice, the professor asked me that I have been in Pune, and since you have worked in Pune, what kind of places do you hang out in? So we just had that discussion for 5 minutes. That was the only reference to my past professional experience. Apart from that, there was nothing which they touched upon.
So it's wonderful to hear about your experiences. So
Right.
for people who would be interviewing with ISB in the next admission cycle, what would be your tips to face the stress interview?
Uh, I think,
Just a small caveat here.
yeah, I think from my own experience, I would say don't lose confidence. I mean, if you lose your confidence, that's the end of the game. You cannot let them smell the fear you have. Definitely, people are nervous. I mean, it's a huge school and it's a dream school for a lot of people, specifically in India. And they know that. And what I feel is that they prey on that. And they will intentionally try to break you. They would try to make you contradict yourself. But what I feel, I think the best thing which I did was that I stayed calm. I kept on smiling. And I did my level best to improvise on the feet and answer their questions. Since it was a stress interview, it was more to do with a behavioral interview. There were no right or wrong answers. I mean, my strategy on how I need to expand my business might not make sense to them, but it makes perfect sense to me. Or how I perceive digital learning can be very different from how they perceive digital learning. So that is again which I had in my mind that there are not no right or wrong answers, but if I don't give an answer, that is where they would have won and they would have managed to break me. So I'll say that be confident. Don't be pressurized by the whole stuff. Even if they're asking you a stress interview, just take it as a normal discussion. Don't get irritated. That's what I'll see. Because the minute you get irritated, that is when the whole thing will start going down the drain.
Perfect. So thank you so much, Sai. I think this has been extremely helpful.